Cheers. All right, welcome to Front Porch Dads. It is a podcast with your hosts, Josh and Chad. And this podcast is dedicated to the hardworking dads out there, everyday dads, providing for their families, new dads, old dads, all the experiences above, the good days, the bad days, the struggles, the achievements, the rewards. That's what this show's about.
Yeah, I mean, we started sitting on the porch years ago and just talking about our kids and our families, and
Yep,
all of a sudden we're like, wait a minute, I'm sure there's other guys out there that are doing the same thing. So
exactly.
kind of came up with Front Porch Dads, and here we are, first episode, and
Yep.
it's exciting.
And you know, it's the funny part is it's not like this is new. This is something we do I'd
Weekly?
Say, yeah, every week anyway.
At least bi-weekly or monthly.
Yeah, and you know, as we go here, we want to have special guests on our show, dads from all over, dads from all different jobs, you know, different career paths, you know, maybe has one kid, maybe one has 10 kids. We just want to hear all of it.
Yeah, and I think everybody's in a different scenario.
Yeah,
and we'll get into that down the road. But
yeah, I think it's good to be real about stuff, and it's not all, you know, sunshine and rainbows sometimes. And I think these days, men's mental health is a big issue. I think it's definitely been overlooked in the last, you know,
5-10 years.
Yeah, if not even more. I mean,
well,
I would say just because, you know, the man's always supposed to be the man, the provider, the rock, the stable,
Men don't always talk about it, though, either.
Right, no, we don't.
I mean, I don't even...
No one likes to admit, I don't think any guy likes to admit that, you know, we have days where we struggle or mental struggle, and, you know, but this episode, I think we're going to focus on Father's Day just because it's a little post-Father's Day, but, you know, it's only 2 days past. We just got done having Father's Day, and I know there's a lot of new fathers out there that, you know, experience Father's Day for the first time this year, and that's awesome. I bet you it's that's very rewarding.
Do you remember your first one?
Oh my gosh, yes.
How long ago was that?
That was
13, 14?
14 years ago. I remember having a white T-shirt made for me, and it had little handprints all over it, and it had her name on it and stuff, and I wore it proudly. I still remember going out for ice cream on Father's Day.
I remember for me it was like, I mean, obviously they're just babies, but it was kind of like the setting of the cement, right? Like, holy crap.
Yeah.
Like, it's one thing when you think you're a father, then it's Father's Day and people are like, Happy Father's Day. I'm like, oh, yeah, that's me.
Yep. Yeah,
and then it's just like, oh, yeah, that is me.
It's definitely shocking.
I have to provide for the rest of my life now.
It's definitely like a whole new level of, it's hard to explain, really. I mean, unless you're, I think, in that position of becoming a father, it's really hard to explain to someone that
there's no...
It doesn't have kids or something.
It's like ripping a Band-Aid off. It's just like, boom.
It is.
When we brought our son home, I'll never forget the, you know, you do the classes and the videos and all that stuff. And the nurse comes in and she goes, okay, here's your son. You guys are, you know, you guys can take off whenever you want. Here's your car seat. You know, I had brought my car seat up. There's 3 nurses watching me buckle my newborn son into a car seat, and I've never, ever, ever done it, period. And I'm like, yeah, this isn't pressure at all.
Yep. I remember that. I had a nurse come out, help me strap the car seat in the back seat of the car, and she's like, I was scared because here's the moment where I freaked out. She's in the car, and she's got her knee in the seat, and she's just putting all the pressure, like pushing on the roof of the car, trying to get that strap tight. She's like, you have to do this every single time. And I'm thinking to myself, oh my gosh, like, this is a lot. Like, and, you know,
like Superman pulling down the strap.
Exactly. And, you know, I remember the ride home, I was like, I think I drove probably 30 miles an hour.
Oh, I think that's every dad. No one goes over the speed limit.
I got mad and yelled at every car on the road.
So you went from being not a father to
Yeah.
the old man behind the
I
wheel.
did. I went from breaking the speed limit all the time probably to get off my road.
No, I think Father's Day has a lot of meanings to a lot of dads and a lot of men, and whether you're a grandpa or dad or an uncle, whatever it is, it's. I look at it as the one day a year people actually listen to me. Like
Well,
literally this year was the one year they actually listened to me.
well, there's years for that.
You know what I mean? Like
No, I get it.
when he
I
was a
get it.
baby, like I never got that, but now that
No.
he's 7 years old, it's
For
what do you want, Dad? What do you want? So
the thing I look forward to on Father's Day, and not every year, not every single kid does this. I got 5 kids. Is waking up and finding these little handmade cards that the kids made, and it has messages in it. And man, that is like the best thing. Waking up and seeing these messages from your kids telling you how amazing of a dad you are to them, and that's just
it almost feels surreal sometimes.
it's just like the best feeling.
Yep. I literally today the garage. I just cleaned the garage, and there's boxes with like paper plates stapled to them, and they're on my little carts I got from Harbor Freight, to move equipment around.
Oh yeah, yep.
So they were obviously like playing some kind of truck game today, and it was like I wanted to be mad, but at the same time I was like, dude, they used their imagination and they like stapled plates to a box and pushed them around the garage, So
Yep. I mean, how did you? Because you've been a dad now for how old's your oldest?
7 years.
7 years. Okay, so how have you as a dad? Let's ask you this: from your first year or two being a dad till now, how have you changed as a dad as far as like patience and just understanding? And because
I think it evolves with the children, the kids. It's when they're babies, it's a different mindset, right? It's about feeding them, cleaning them, changing diapers, and just taking care of them. Now it's 6, 7. Now you have a person, right, with ideas and their own schedule, if you want to, it's a little different. So my patience, I think my patience was actually better when they were young, and now that they're older, my patience is a little bit less there, just because it's like dealing with another wife in some concepts.
Do you think that's partly because before you still had a section of free time where now?
Oh yeah, they would nap every 2 to 3 hours.
Where
now it's like no free time.
Right.
Like literally, what time is it? It's like 9 o'clock right now at night.
Yep.
I just put my kids to bed and ran over here to do a podcast, and like this is my only free time other than the weekends.
Yep.
So, like I get up at 6 o'clock in the morning to go to work every day.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not home till 6 o'clock at night, and then tonight we were working in the yard, doing a project. So, 9 o'clock at night is my only time to do bills or, actually have free time with the wife and watch a movie or whatever, So.
No, I hear you.
And I think, as we go on with this podcast, people are going to learn more about you and more about me and the different scenarios that we're in as husbands. So
we have 2 different career paths.
Yep.
Really, I got 5 kids. I know you got.
I got 3.
3. You got
2 are foster kids.
Yep. You're married. I used to be married. I'm not married anymore. So I got that.
So you're a single dad.
Being a single dad of 5 kids, that's definitely a whole new scenario right there. And I know there's a lot of listeners probably out there too, in similar situations.
Oh yeah, I bet you 50% of the people out there. That's kind of the stat, right?
And let me tell you guys, I understand the struggles. You're going to go through those days where, being a father it's hard. Like you're barely making it. You're mentally broke. You're physically tired. It's just a lot, and still trying to be a hero and dad to your kids. There's a lot of pressure behind that. Back to the father thing, like how you started out versus now. I think that's pretty similar for a lot of people. I find myself actually having more patience, I think, now, only because.
Well, you had a different scenario, right? You had. Your first 3 were what? How many years apart?
Yeah, there was. Yeah,
2 years apart.
Every 2 years.
Yeah.
It was
So you never really got a break from the baby
never
stage.
a break. Never a break. Unfortunately, for us too, like my family lives a long way away. So
You don't have an immediate family
I didn't
around.
have any immediate family to help us.
Yeah. Where I do, I
and
have literally everybody everywhere.
And she really didn't have any family, helping out per se, and so it was just us, and that was hard on a marriage too, is
No one to lean on.
no one to lean on, and we never got a break. That's 5 kids, and within 7-year or 8-year time period, that's a lot. So we, and just so everybody know, I do have a set of twins, so that was 2 at once. So that was a lot of
Everybody's doing the math. They're like, wait.
yeah,
a
that
minute.
was 2 at once. So
that was the last of the 5.
Yes,
So you were at 3.
I was an overachiever on that.
And
one.
then you said, "Wow, we'll just have one more." And then God was like, "Boom,
Yep.
2 more."
that was basically a good surprise. God is.
I think I would shit my pants if that happened to me. Be like, "We're just gonna have one more kid," and then
God.
boom, 2.
I don't think there was enough alcohol that day.
I remember when you called me. I do remember that, and you were like, "Hey, Chad, we're having we're having a baby, and then maybe another one." And I'm like,
Yeah.
"Wait, what?"
Yeah, I was.
I thought you guys were done.
I think the level of being scared hit it like way past the 10 mark on that one. That was only because, we had 3 kids before. Okay, so 1 kid, you got 2 to 1.
And you had just built a house.
Just built a house. 2 kids, it's man on man. 3 kids, you're a little outnumbered, but
right. You can hold the fort.
Team together a little bit,
Yeah.
And then with the 2 at once, I'm thinking to myself, okay, so 1, I was super scared. I thought, in my mind, twins meant I'm not going to be able to tell them apart. So in my mind, I'm thinking I'm going to have to get them tattoos. Like
1 and 2?
Number 1 and 2 or something. Yeah, exactly.
Thing 1, thing 2, like Dr. Seuss.
Yeah, exactly. So when they came out as
fraternal,
they couldn't look more opposite. So I was so relieved for that. And I know other people have identical twins too, so I'm not knocking you in any way. I give you kudos.
You were just scared because you were afraid.
I was scared,
you wouldn't tell them
in my
apart.
mind, and I know it's easy for parents to tell them apart, but in my mind, I'm thinking, I'm going to switch them up and I'm going to be mixing them up.
I had
constantly.
2 cousins in high school that were identical.
Oh, really?
And their lockers were to the left and the right of me, and I honestly never could tell which one was which.
Yeah, how the heck do you tell them apart?
And I would never call them by name because I didn't know which one was which.
That's
Yeah.
I mean, let's be honest. Their parents probably mixed them up once or twice.
Oh, for sure. I mean, the hospital probably mixed them up once or twice.
But yeah, oh man, definitely the twin experience was something. I mean, we ended up in the NICU, I would say, for probably, I think, 3 weeks because they were born a little early. So we ended up in there, and that was a struggle on its own because that was the first time I got left alone with 3 kids while my wife at the time was in the hospital sleeping there for 3 weeks. And
Yeah.
I would go after work and spend as much time as I possibly could there, but also taking care of the kids. Like that was, I remember getting to a breaking point where I remember coming home and sitting in silence and didn't think I'd be able to make it because it was a lot.
I think that's every dad, right? That's whether it's financial stuff or big decision stuff, whether it's a vehicle, a house, a job. I mean, we've gone through a few job changes and career changes, and we'll get through that
some
eventually.
Willingly, some not willingly.
Yeah, and but the main thing is, and as a foster dad, the main thing is just show up, right?
Right.
And we've heard that before from other
Right.
people, but the main thing is you never stop trying, and you
Right.
never stop waking up and pushing forward
Yep.
and continuing to do whatever you need to do for your kids, because at the end of the day, you're the one and only, you and the mom. So it's like you have to
exactly.
you have to be there, because I've seen a lot of people that have every excuse in the book.
Oh, heck yeah.
Oh, it's this problem. Oh, it's their problem. Well, no, you're the parent.
Yeah.
It falls on your shoulders, whether you want it or not.
Exactly.
And yes, you can ask for help, and yes, you can get help.
Yep.
But at the end of the day, like, you're the one that brought them into this world. You're the one that's supposed to protect them,
And
and take care of them.
I think a big thing that goes through a lot of, I'm gonna stick to dads on this.
Yep.
Not that moms don't.
No, we focus on dads. Yep.
Focus on dads here. Is that a lot of dads constantly feel like they're failing their kids.
Oh, I'd imagine most dads would.
But I'm gonna tell you, like that's the sign of a good father, because he's constantly trying
to achieve,
to be better,
Yeah.
to strive to be better.
Yeah.
When you constantly think, you're not doing a good enough job, or you failed your kids at this, or I should have did this different. Like, it's okay to make mistakes. We make mistakes.
We're human.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean,
I feel like that every day.
I mean, what did I just text you the other day? I'm like, dude, you manned up and confessed to something that you screwed up on, and I was like, dude, I'm proud of you, because it takes a bigger man to confess that he's screwed up than it is for a man to run away and try to hide and try to, cover up what he did wrong. A real man, I always tell when I have employees, I'm like, if you break something, or something's just screwed up, tell me.
Yep.
Because then we can fix it.
Exactly.
But I'm like, if you run away or don't tell me and then I find out later, then I'm going to be pissed, because it's better to come forward and be like, listen, I didn't make the right choice here.
Yep.
Period. I made the best assumption, but I didn't think it was wrong at the time, but it was. So.
Yep, exactly. And I try to tell my kids that too, is I'd rather you come to me and tell me you did something or broke something than me having to find out and me going to you, or you lying about it or whatever.
Yeah.
I still might be a little bit upset, but I'm not going to be upset like I would if I found out and then I ask you and you lie about it, and I find out it was you. It's okay to make mistakes. We all make mistakes.
A lot of the we've only had boys in our house. We've never had girls, thank goodness, because I don't think I could handle a daughter at this point. I don't know how you do it. But we've only had boys, and with the foster boys, I always tell them when they come into our home that, you got to tell me the truth.
Yeah.
Whether you screwed up, whether you hurt somebody's feelings or hurt somebody, tell me the truth, and we will get through the consequences. But if you lie to me and I figure it out, there's going to be twice as many consequences. Mm-hmm. And these kids, they look at you like, what do you mean tell you the truth?
Yeah.
Because they've been lying their entire life, trying to get through life. And that was the way my father raised me. I mean, he always told me, he's like, if you broke something, if you did something wrong in school, in life, he goes, tell me, and we'll figure it out. But he goes, if you don't, I'm going to be even more mad,
I just had an idea. That's a great idea for one of our podcasts coming up. I think we should really focus on our dads and how.
Oh, absolutely. Oh, absolutely.
I think we should definitely have.
Oh, yeah.
We could even maybe see if we can get your dad.
Oh, my dad would come over here in a heartbeat.
That'd be great.
Yeah.
I can't get mine because they live 10 hours away.
We could go on a road trip someday. Maybe when we make the big bucks.
There we go.
We get like our 100th episode.
There we go.
We'll head up to Josh's dad's in the UP.
But,
that might be a cold front porch if it's in the wintertime.
Yep. But, before we start wrapping up here, what did you do on Father's Day? Since we're talking about
You're going to laugh at me. So we're doing a project right now in the yard, putting underground sprinkling in. We built our house 3 years ago. Building the house, we ran out of money like most people do. So we didn't do the underground sprinkling. So 3 years later, we've got enough money to do underground sprinkling. So the boys asked, let me rewind. They asked me the day before what I wanted. And I said I want a cup of coffee in bed and breakfast burritos made for me in bed. Breakfast, nice. Breakfast in bed with coffee. And I slept in, which was nice. So I slept in. The boys woke up, said Happy Father's Day. They brought me a cup of coffee. They made me breakfast. I watched some Netflix in the morning. It was nice. And then they're like, what do you want to do? I'm like, I'd really like to finish this project outside, and have you guys help me. So we worked in the yard. It was hot like it is today. We took our time, but, I work outside for a living, and I'm not home very much in the summer, so it was nice to have some family time and dink around in the yard. And
That's awesome.
not be stuck in front of a television or
That
something.
sounds like a perfect.
It was
Father's Day.
honestly probably the best Father's Day I've ever had so far.
That's
So.
awesome, man.
What about you?
I woke up early. My daughter got me out of bed at I think about 7:45, and we're taking care of some horses for the weekend.
Oh, that's right.
For somebody. So we went and took care of 7 horses and fed them. And
How long does that take?
me and her have it down pretty good right now. We got it. It took about 45 minutes.
You're feeding them and
Feeding them, getting them, refilling the hay, watering them, all the troughs. I mean, 7 horses are in 4 different pens, so we have to literally take them in to the barn, separate them in stalls so they can eat their grains and their proteins and all that, and then walk them back out. But it's neat. So I will say, horses, and I'm new in the last year or two to horses as far as taking care of them, but they're a lot like big dogs.
I will not do livestock.
And I will say that the horses' personalities remind me of a bunch of little toddlers. So every horse has a different personality, but they're all like toddlers. They act like toddlers. They get upset like toddlers. They sometimes act out
My
like
sister had
toddlers.
horses, and I can't do livestock like that. I'd rather have a 4-wheeler or a motorcycle.
Yep.
But I mean, cahoots to you to be able to do that with your daughter.
The big thing is I enjoy spending. My daughter loves it, and it's spending time with her and watching her smile and enjoy it.
Oh yeah.
Like, even though it's a lot of work, like,
well, it's her passion, right?
it brings me a lot of joy because I get that time alone with her.
Right.
And it's like that special bond that we have.
Yep.
And that's the best. But after that, we came home, we got cleaned up, got everybody else up and ready.
You went somewhere, didn't you?
Yeah, we went to the Air Zoo down in Kalamazoo.
How was that?
That was amazing. That was the first time I've ever been there.
I've never been there.
It's not what I was expecting. Like, we walked in, there was so much to do. The kids were crying because they didn't want to leave. It was so much fun.
You took all 5?
Took all 5.
Whew.
Liam, he took me in a simulator, fighter jet simulator, and I asked him, let's not barrel roll a lot, because you actually barrel roll and do whatever you want.
Wait,
for
like
real.
Simulates it?
Yes, like you're actually rolling upside down and whatever.
Like
direction.
physically rolling upside down.
Yes, any direction you do.
I don't know if I could do that.
Oh, it's insane. So, of course, being the 12-year-old boy that he is,
He thinks he's invincible.
He thought it was funny to keep barrel rolling. Well, let's just say that Dad was getting really dizzy.
Oh, you were on it too?
I was on it. And when I got off the ride, I was done riding after that.
Oh, I bet. How many times did you go around?
I don't know.
How long did you go around?
It was like 3 minutes of rotating.
Oh my God. I would stop. I would cut it off.
Yeah, it was something. But, the kids had a blast.
But that's a memory they'll love.
Yeah. And, the airplanes in there were so good. They had a F-14 Tomcat, the one from, same one that was in Top Gun.
Oh, nice.
So that was there.
Great
I didn't
movie.
realize how big it was in person. So they had
it's probably massive. I've never seen one.
So
but...
they had the F-18 there, too, which was also in Top Gun.
Yes, it was.
But the F-14 was like twice the size of an F-18. I didn't know that. Like, it is just a monster of an airplane. And it's so impressive in real life.
Is that all inside?
Yeah.
Wow.
So impressive.
So check it out.
I highly recommend going there. Kids would love it, especially at boys.
Oh, my kids. Anything with an engine or wheels, they're all into it.
After that, we came back and we did get invited over to my ex-in-laws so the kids could swim in the pool for like an hour.
Yeah, nice.
So
perfect.
We went over there.
Well, and that's compromise, right? Even if you're not married.
Yeah,
it's
and
it's their grandpa.
It's one of those things. It's Father's Day, so he wanted to see him.
Yep.
And I gave the kids a gift to give them, so that was trying to be the bigger person, and.
Well, and I think with anything, it's always challenging, but at the same time, you're not doing it for you. You're doing it for the kids.
Yep.
So.
Yep.
That's what being a dad's all about.
So overall, it was a great Father's Day. Kids had fun. I will tell you that I was so worn out. I think I'm still tired.
Yeah.
I mean, it was only 2 days
ago. I think that's just a normal thing for dads to be tired.
Yeah. It is.
My kids are like, why are you just sitting on the couch? Just give me 10 minutes.
It is. I was so worn out today from where I came home. I think I passed out for like a half an hour after work today. And I woke back up. I didn't even want to get back up. Like I had to force myself to get back
Right.
up and motivate and work out and do all this stuff. And I'm like, man, Josh, come on, kick your butt.
Okay,
Let's
so
go.
for our listeners, how old are you?
I am 43 going on 25.
I don't know what that means, but okay.
Yeah, actual number
I am
43, but I look like I'm
38
25.
going on 50. So
Oh, yeah. I would agree with that.
I'm worn down
I
a
would
little bit.
100% agree.
I work outside for a living. I'm exhausted.
Yeah, I started getting gray hair at 21. But I feel like I earned it. So
You did earn it. And you make it look good.
I mean,
Single dad and all.
yeah, you gotta do what you can do.
I'm a happily married man, by the way.
I wasn't hitting on you.
I know
But
you
thanks.
were. I know you were.
Maybe next episode.
Are we really going that far already in the first episode? We're in trouble.
This is how guys talk, guys.
It is.
I mean,
And that's how the bourbon
we're
talks.
real
We're
here.
drinking bourbon, by the
No,
way.
we're-
What
yeah,
kind of
we
bourbon are we drinking?
We are drinking Woodford Reserve.
Oh, that's right, Woodford
In
Reserve.
an old fashioned.
Yeah,
'Cause
we're bourbon boys.
We are bourbon boys, and I think we should maybe we'll do a different kind of drink every so often,
absolutely.
just to try them out.
Absolutely.
I mean, this is a guy show.
This is a guy
This is
show.
all about dads. This
Yeah.
is realistic here.
Yeah. I mean, you don't have to be drinking, but
No, absolutely not. If you don't drink, hey, kudos to you.
right. But
If you
I don't
do,
even drink to drink. I drink just to enjoy the flavor,
That's pretty much what it is. I got to have something in my hand to sip
Well, I
on.
have this, and I have a cup of water because I know I'm going to drink one of them first.
Yeah.
So I'm always sipping on something.
Yep.
But
No.
should we wrap it up a little bit?
Yeah, we're gonna wrap this up.
Okay.
But if you guys have ideas, questions,
Yeah, send it
or
to
you
us.
guys just have something, a story that you guys want to relate to us, that we can, if you feel comfortable for us to read it on, on our podcast or anything like that, we'd love to hear it.
Or discussion points.
Yeah, exactly. We want.
We've been through a lot the last. I mean, I've been a dad for 7 years, but I've been married for 13, 14 years.
Yep. I was married for 15 years.
But
So
your oldest, how old is your oldest?
My oldest is 14. She'll be
Right, so you've been a
15 this
father
summer.
for 14
So
years. You're going to driver's training.
We're done with driver's training.
Oh, we can talk about
We just
that next
got done.
time.
Yeah, that's a whole nother, that's a whole episode in itself, ladies and gentlemen.
Strap on the tires. Here we go.
Oh man, but no, we to wrap this up, front porch dads, and we appreciate all you guys, and we look forward to more, hopefully,
Dad
relatable,
moments.
yeah, and relatable conversations to everybody too.
Cheers, brother.
Cheers. Until next time.
Front porch dads. Here we come.
Front porch dads, as Red Green used to say.
Oh lordy.
I better not. It's probably
No.
copyright.
Don't do it.
I
Don't
won't
do
do
it.
it. I won't
You're
do
just
it.
showing your age. That's
I
all you're
won't do
doing.
it.
All right, we're wrapping it up. Until next time.
See you guys.